Okay. Good morning, dears. Today is Sunday, 3rd of May. Before we start about our lesson today, I want to talk about the final exam material. It will be most probably online. It will be including only chapter 5. Now, within this semester, we took تقريبا chapter 4 and 5. But chapter 4 we took it at school, and chapter 5 almost here. مع انه we started chapter 5 بسكول بس انه يعني we continue chapter 5 here. So I don't want to make the material long. I will make it only chapter 5. It will be from pages 101 to 126. بس you know
medication مع specific heat ولا heat.
مش من هون حبيبي. Starting من solid liquid and gas. ايوه من عند الجدول solid liquid and gas till where we finish. اللي هو chapter 5. احنا we will not pass chapter 5. Only we'll stop at chapter 5.
زي امتحان السكند مع السبيسيفيك latent heat وهذا.
ايوه يعني احنا السكند كان till end of radiation. هذا till end of chapter 5. It's not exactly the same. It's longer.
أنا صراحة مش كثير فاهم latent heat.
هلا اليوم our lesson still we're talking about latent heat. We did not finish latent heat yet. خليني بس يا جماعة أكمل شرح لو سمحتوا بعدين تكملوا أسئلة. بنقول the final exam will be about thermal physics. بس as you know physics is accumulated, so you may find a question that you need to find the mass فرضا. وإحنا نستخدم density equal mass over volume. فما حدا يقول لي أستاذ density equal mass over volume هاي من الفيرست semester. Okay, هذه it's included in these questions. بس ما راح يكون السؤال عن density و how to find density. يعني بالضبط. حتى even efficiency I may depend on efficiency to calculate something. Yes, I may depend لأنه هيك questions. بس ما راح أجيب لك سؤال calculate kinetic energy potential energy. مش هيك راح يكون. Okay, not what we started in chapter 4. احنا with chapter 4 we started 10 types of energy, work done, power, pressure. احنا we will depend only on thermal energy plus the efficiency. Okay? زي ما اتفقنا thermal energy has two equations. Energy equal mc delta t and ml. Both they are used in certain ways. وفي عندنا energy equal power times time can be used everywhere. if we have efficiency يعني زي ما قلت لكم راح يكون part من الquestion. مش راح يكون السؤال about efficiency totally ولا about density totally. Okay? فإذا this is the material that will be included in our exams. Most probably إنه راح يكونوا after العيد. they did not announce the schedule yet. وزي ما حكيتوا أنتوا كمان most probably إنهم يكونوا online. you have to do your best في هذا.
multiple choice ولا إيش؟ multiple choice.
يعني إذا مش multiple choice يعني I may ask you some questions about explanation you have to write. بس يعني as calculation it's hard for you to write the steps for فعلى الأغلب شو يعني إذا بدك تعمل لي MC divided by energy أو divided by power times time يعني you may do it. It's not that hard. بس يعني I prefer إني أنا أحلل لك الجواب وأنت you pick the final answer. هيك رح يكون. بس إذا في explanation يعني sensitivity, what is meant by sensitivity, how to make it more sensitive. هذه الأشياء specific heat capacity هذا you may write it عادي يعني تكتبها عادي printing.
يعني مش calculation باختصار بس.
calculation it will be multiple choice. explanation it may be written part you have to write. أو you have to type مش write. You have to type your answer. Okay? هيك راح يكون. إلا إذا في simple calculation يعني it's easy to write it يعني F equal MA عادي F equal M times A مش قصة. you may write it يعني إذا كان simple calculation I may ask you to do it هون. إذا كانوا long calculations you have to do it on a paper وبعدين you pick the final answer من multiple choice.
طيب قديش راح يكون الوقت الامتحان؟
ما بنعرف. أنا لما هم يحكوا لنا لسه إذا قالوا لنا 45 minutes قالوا لنا 1 hour يعني فاهم كيف؟ depends على السكيدجول تبع المدرسة شو راح يعمل. كل الديتيلز بتبين بقى لقدام. بس هلا until now this is what we know. just keep record. أكيد they will send you a schedule about the exams and what is the material. هاي من هلا بقول لكم final material I'm explaining it to you. You know it will be about chapter 5 in addition to some basics that we took even in the first semester, like density equal mass over volume, or at the beginning of this semester, and it's not included, only I will include efficiency, equation of efficiency, you may use it there, okay? This is what we have to do. Today, we want to talk about the last topic in chapter 5. After this, after we finish this topic, we will solve paper 6 questions about chapter 5, يعني about thermal physics. لأنه احنا أخذنا within this year 2 units or 2 blocks اللي هو general physics, and we did multiple choice questions, we did paper 4 questions, and we did paper 6 questions from general physics. Thermal physics عملنا normal questions, the paper 4 questions, عملنا multiple choice questions. هلا but after we finish this we will start paper 6 questions about boiling, about chapter 5 اللي هي thermal energy. Okay, طيب let me erase this. Okay, so our last topic is talking about the difference between boiling and evaporation. You may find this in pages 118 and 119. We will not finish it today. We will finish inshallah tomorrow, and after tomorrow we may start paper 6. If not, we begin next week. This is what we're gonna do. Now, listen please. When liquid changes to gas, then there are 2 different processes for which solid liquid changes to gas. We have a process that we called it boiling. إذن خلينا نقول هيك by boiling or by evaporation. Now, the first thing we want to know, what are the differences between boiling and evaporation? And how can we tell whether this is boiling or this is evaporation? Listen to me. In boiling, the boiling, it occurs, مش عارف الجرين مبين ولا غيره؟
صراحة مو كثير مبينة.
طيب.
سبب بالمرة مش مبينة.
خلاص هي تغيير. It occurs at certain temperature. The boiling, for example, for water, for pure water under normal conditions, it boils at, حد يقول لي قد ايش؟ At 100 degrees Celsius. طب is evaporation occur at 100 degrees Celsius? أكيد. It occurs. بس is it possible to have evaporation at 80 degrees Celsius?
Yes.
Why not? Why not? At 50, at 40. Even مرات بصير في عندنا اللي بسموه sublimation, بتلاقي عندك some ice, you take it out from the fridge and it starts evaporating. صح؟ فهذا temperature is not fixed in evaporation. معناته in boiling, liquid is changing to gas at specific, certain, fixed, constant temperature. While evaporation بنقول it may occur at any temperature, not necessarily to be 100. بس أكيد رامز if I ask you رامز حبيبي, what is where do we have more evaporation, at 100 degrees Celsius ولا at 50 degrees Celsius?
No, 100.
Yeah. I'm not talking about the amount of evaporation. I'm talking whether evaporation may occur or it will not occur. بالحقيقة yes, evaporation may occur at 50, may occur at 100. Surely the higher the temperature, the higher the evaporation. I'm not talking about this, but I'm saying, is it possible for water to boil at 50? If it's pure water and it's normal pressure, no way.
مش هي direct proportion أصلا، إنه هاي temperature هاي evaporation.
يعني قصدك في evaporation directly انه the more the temperature the higher the evaporation. Possible. مش بالضرورة نقول directly بس yes no increases. بس boiling no occurs only at one point. So this is the first difference. Okay حبايبي? This is the first difference. The first difference is that boiling occurs only at certain or specific temperature. Second thing, which molecules boil? Are they the one at the top, the one in the middle, the ones at the bottom? Which molecules boil?
البويلينج كله.
كل شيء. إذا هذا it occurs for all molecules. While evaporation تعرفوا occurs for what?
The one in contact with the surface.
Yes, thank you. إذا هذا it occurs خلينا نكتب هون only for molecules at the surface. Not all molecules. Evaporation occurs only for molecules at the surface. عشان هيك if we have hot cup of tea, let's say, it will evaporate a little bit. You will not find all tea has been evaporated. You will not see this. Why? Because the evaporation occurs for only molecules at the surface. So when these molecules evaporate, the next molecules will become surface molecules, so they may evaporate, but not all of them. So after half an hour, you will not find all tea molecules have been evaporated. This is not true. You will not see this. While if you keep boiling water, maybe after half an hour, yes, you may find no water molecule. All of them have been changed to gas. So liquid changes to gas in two methods. Either by boiling or by evaporation. هذا. 3. Third difference. If you stop the energy source, will boiling stop or it will continue?
It will reduce.
boiling لا.
لكن بتوقف.
البويلينج ايش؟ شو بصير؟ It will?
يعني
راح يوقف عن boiling.
Yes, it will stop. If you have يعني if you want to make, let's say, cup of tea.
ينزل عن المية.
بالظبط. If you have a cup of tea and you have a beaker, you put some water in it, you switch on the stove, you want to make a cup of tea, you are waiting it for boiling. When it boils, you switch off the stove, خلص. Boiling stops. No more bubbles will appear. إذن هنا بنقول boiling stops if the supplied energy is will stop. If you stop the supplied energy, then evaporation will not continue. Boiling will not continue. While evaporation, if you turn off the stove, will evaporation continue or it will stop?
لأنه أصلا بتصير بدون أصلا ما تشغل.
But maybe at a slower rate, but at least it will continue. Okay? إذن هنا
ما زالوا مو بيعملوا كده at any temperature.
بالضبط يا عيني عليكم. It continues even if we stop the supplied energy. The last difference between them, خلينا نكتب 4 هلا. 4. The last difference, in boiling, bubbles appear, while in evaporation, بنقول no bubbles. Okay? So they may ask you, yes, this is one of the questions that they may ask you in شو بسموها in the external they may ask you suggest differences between boiling and evaporation. Usually they ask for two differences. Usually, give me two differences. يعني I don't like أو يعني I don't feel that it's scientific, although many mark schemes are accepting number 4. لو أنا محلكم I will not write it. I will write either the first or the second or the third differences. The fourth one أنا I don't like it. بحسه it's not scientific بس يعني they accept it within the mark scheme. Bubbles appear here no bubbles. بس أهم شيء نقول إنه boiling occurs only at certain temperature while evaporation at any temperature. It occurs for all molecules in boiling, but evaporation occurs only for molecules at the surface and stops if the supplied energy will be stopped. And here evaporation it continues even if you stop the energy. Last thing زي ما قلنا عن البابلز. طيب. Do you have a question?
بس كمان تقدر تحكي similarity إنه both changes to gas.
هم both مش changes to gas. هم both they are methods to change liquid to gas. Yes. Usually ما بسأل evaporation but okay. Yes. صح. إذن these two methods in which liquid is changing to gas. هلا لو بقول لك عبد الكريم بما انك you ask this question تقول لي latent heat انا لسه مش فاهم. بالحقيقة latent heat it tells you how much energy is used during boiling. Okay? فenergy equal ml هذه it's the energy used in boiling. But if I want to know what's the energy used in evaporation I don't know. Okay? يعني there will be no calculation in case of evaporation. بس إذا بقول لك E equal ml I'm talking about either boiling أو طبعا melting. أو opposite processes اللي هي condensation and freezing. We'll write this statement later on. Now, if this is the difference between, or these are the differences between boiling and evaporation. Now, if I asked you, what really occurs in evaporation? إذن إحنا لأنه we talked about boiling in all the previous time. Everything that we talked about specific latent heat, it's the same for boiling. But evaporation, we did not talk about it before. So now, I want to talk about evaporation. إذا بنقول, I want to know what happens during evaporation. During evaporation, listen to me. During evaporation, some or all molecules, شو أحكي? Some molecules or all molecules?
Some molecules.
لا
Some.
لأنه بس على السيرفس.
أيوة. إذا دي ما بدي أكتب some، بدي أكتب only molecules at the surface. Okay? إذا مش all molecules ولا some molecules لأنه all molecules is wrong. Some molecules will not be accepted because you did not specify which molecules. لازم نقول molecules at the surface. متفقين معي؟ Okay. Now listen to my question. All molecules of the surface will evaporate?
لا أستاذ طبعا.
لا مش كل.
لكان which ones؟
أستاذ لا أنا بقول لك. أنا بحاول أقول لك.
جرب.
بس الموليكيولز اللي بيعملوا evaporate بيكونوا بياخذوا شوية chemical قصدي heat و kinetic energy من ال surrounding molecules عشان يقدروا يعملوا overcome للattraction force. فلما يعملوا evaporate اللي بيضلوا بيصيروا أبرد و move slower.
اللي بيضل معناته اللي بيطلعوا
هم اللي اخذوا منهم energy عشان يقدروا يطلعوا او بيكون عندهم هم زيادة.
هلا مش مهم from thank you. I like your answer very nice. I don't care from where they get this energy. بس بالحقيقة خليني أورجيكم رسمة لا ترسموها هلا. We will draw it maybe later. Let's say this is container beaker that contains water molecules there. They are liquid. Let's say it's at 50 degrees Celsius. So some molecules will evaporate. Which molecule will evaporate? A or B? Which one is more likely to evaporate? أكيد A. طيب C or D? C or D?
سي اكيد.
C. إذن the molecules that are most likely to evaporate, because not all molecules will evaporate, A and C. If I'm telling you that C has high energy and D has high energy, A has low energy and B has low energy, and this question, it was a multiple choice question. I'm asking you which molecule مش will evaporate, most likely to evaporate, A, B, C or D.
أكيد يا A يا C.
ايوه بس ما هو multiple choice، يعني لازم يكون one answer يا رامز.
هاي انرجي سي.
معناته C. على اي اساس يا عبد الرحمن؟ Why did you choose C not A؟
عشان عندها more energy.
عشان عندها more energy. طب why do they need energy؟ اسمعني يا رامز. Why C is more likely to evaporate? Because احنا قلنا evaporation is a process where liquid changes to gas. Liquid molecule, there are some bonds, weak bonds, but there are some bonds, and they are close to each other. In gas, there are no bonds and the molecules are far apart. So, if you need to move or to change liquid molecules to gas molecules, then this means you need to break the bonds and separate the molecules. So you need energy. So these molecules will have, yes, thank you for your answers. شفت أجوبتكم حلا منتصر. Yes. So C is the most the one that has high possibility to evaporate because it has high molecules. So if I'm asking you, explain what happens during evaporation. 3 marks for this question. وهذا ممكن يجي زي ما قلت لكم بالامتحان. I may ask you to write explain what happens during evaporation. فنقول during evaporation نقول the most أو ممكن تقول the highest energetic molecules, بس not any molecules, not D, at the surface. فبدي أكتب the most energetic surface molecules. The most energetic surface molecules أو ممكن تقول the most energetic molecules at the surface. إيش بيعملوا؟ They do some work to break the bonds with neighbor molecules so they escape from the surface. It's very important to mention the most energetic molecules. And they have to be surface molecules. These are very important keywords. You have to say that they do some work. There is some work done. They have to do some work to break the bonds and separate the molecule and separate to escape from the surface. So they change from liquid state to gas state. Is this clear? طبعا this question, it is one of the known multiple choice questions about evaporation. Explain what happens to
الشرح هذا إنه ليش سي؟ إيش نستفيد من هاي الانرجي؟
صح. ممكن إذا explain why C yes، أو إذا ممكن مش بس explain، ممكن ما يجيش هذا السؤال، ممكن يقول لك explain what happens during evaporation. فالجواب during evaporation what happens with the most energetic molecules at the surface. They have the chance, they have the ability to do some work to break the bonds and separate from the other molecules, so they change their state and they escape from the surface. Is this clear?
أستاذ.
Okay. سهل هذا الدرس سهل. يعني هذا it shows you the difference between boiling and evaporation. طيب. خلينا هلا Abdurrahman mentioned something. Abdurrahman said, the most energetic molecules, they have the ability to, or they have more chance to leave the surface, to escape from the surface. What happens to the remaining molecules? What happens to the remaining molecules? Would they become higher in temperature, keep the same temperature as in boiling, or decrease in temperature? In boiling, we know molecules are changing from liquid to gas at constant temperature. صحيح? Here, they are evaporating. Will the temperature of the liquid, of this cup, after C, if C has been evaporated, after C has been evaporated, will the temperature, this temperature here, if it was 50 degrees Celsius, do we expect to stay 50 or to become 51 or to become 49? طبعا not necessarily يعني ما في question هيك بنمبرز بس انه يعني الidea. What do we expect the temperature to become? Would you expect them to stay at 50 or becomes 51 or becomes 49? Higher or lower or stays the same?
lower عشان هو بعطي انرجي عشان يطلعوا فبقل شوي.
حلو انا I agree with you انه it is lower فاكيد the temperature will not stays the same. هلا in boiling the temperature stays the same because you are still supplying energy. عشان هيك قلنا if you stop supplying the energy boiling will stop. فهنا you are not supplying energy already it has been taken اصلا already previously. فهذا see it has high energy. بالحقيقه هذه الجمله انا مش عارف منين انتم جايبينها. انتم عم تقولوا انه it absorbs energy from others. not necessarily from others. It may take energy from your body فرضا على سبيل المثال. During when you are doing some exercise you are sweating. صح؟ The reason why you are sweating because
عشان ياخذ معاه energy لما يتبخر.
بالضبط. From where it takes the energy from your body. يعني your body sweats when you do some exercise because your body temperature increases. we don't want your body temperature to increase. So your body normally produces this salty water اللي هو بنسميه السويت. هذا السويت it takes energy from your body, not from other sweat molecules. From your body it takes the energy to evaporate, and when it evaporates it reduces your energy, your body temperature, because it absorbs the energy from your body. We want to know that a result of evaporation is always and always that the temperature of the remaining molecules will decrease. So like if I have cup of tea now and I want to drink it, I wait a little bit. I see some evaporation takes place. After, let's say, 2, 3, 5 minutes, I may start drinking and it will be okay. Why? Because when some molecules, not all, when some molecules have been evaporated, the remaining molecules will have lower temperature, and now you will be able to drink some of the remaining liquid there. We don't have time to write it now. الساعة already 2 والسيد عبد الكريم قال لي لو سمحت تاخذ البريك تبعي حاضر. بنكمل احنا on tomorrow I will write what I said just right now, and we will continue the last thing about evaporation, and then we may do some exercise مش عارف إذا بكرة ولا بعده، خلينا نشوف كيف بصير اليوم بالتحضير، ببين معي what we will do. بكل الأحوال I will send you the question that I will solve during على Teams إذا هذا الشيء زبط. أوكي يا حبايبي. Do you have any question؟ يلا يعطيكم العافية.
تسلم ايدك.